gather you feel differently about that.
Very strongly. I mean, I think it's a little bit petulant to go and say that, oh, well, he's only donated $5.5 million. I mean, that's more than Hillary Clinton's even dreamed of. And look, at the fact of the matter is like Donald Trump. What is he so hating about? He hates people who hate America. I mean, you're talking vets versus hate. America, I mean, Trump is for America. Why don't you guys speak out about the people who hate America, like Islamic people that are trying to tear us apart, terrorists nationwide, worldwide, that are coming here to attack our way of life? Why don't you speak out against that hate?
You mean people who practice jihad, not necessarily people who practice Islam.
Muslims.
Right.
I'm talking about a significant portion of Muslims who don't like our way of life.
Okay, but let's...
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
No, I'm astonished. That's just an utterly racist comment.
Wait, that's racist,
surprised
really? Because Islam is a race? Oh no, it's a religion.
The vast majority, no, but
and
let's
that's what we need to be very clear about. Is Islam is not a race, and that's what people have branded Donald Trump like.
That Islamophobia and the anti-Muslim rhetoric, which I'm sure you and I are both subjected to in the military and serving overseas, has a deeply racial component to it. You and I probably were surrounded by people referring to Muslims as hajis.
Sure,
right?
Which is actually a benevolent term in their society.
Right. Is it the way that we use it?
No.
Of course not. When we were just chatting, you just blanket said, I don't like Muslims. Just 5 minutes ago, right?
I don't like their culture.
Right. So they're like, whose culture? Which people?
I don't like the Islamic culture and the influence it's trying to have on my great nation.
So this is exactly the thing that Vets versus Hate is trying to confront, is a candidate who is using veterans as props, very few willing, mostly unwilling, to advance an agenda of hatred that does not reflect the larger veteran community and certainly not active duty military, the vast majority of whom have, like myself, when I served in Afghanistan, worked very, very closely with Muslim interpreters, with active duty soldiers who were Muslim, and all of whom actually donned the uniform and served our country. Unlike Donald Trump, who I think, as it's become increasingly clear, only seems interested in serving himself.
Okay, so you worked with a large number of Muslim veterans, and that's why you co-founded this group, right? That you're the co-organizer of this. And
I'm one of many organizers across the country. It's been a sort of spontaneous emergence of veterans around the country who are just fed up with a public figure trying to use veterans in this way, particularly given his incredibly insulting history towards veterans.
So, Carl, I want to, because a lot of people are listening, and I said I just wanted to listen to you guys and let you guys discuss this, but to talk about Muslim culture in general and that you don't like it. Are you certain of the words that you just said?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the culture of Islam is not a religion. It is a political ideology masquerading as a religion, and it's trying to have significant influence on our way of life, and it does not coincide with our Constitution. I think that's what Donald Trump, look, can he enforce an all-Muslim ban? Probably not, but the fact is...
But part of our Constitution was founded on freedom of religion, and it's not just...
As long as
isn't that the Constitution we swore to uphold and defend?
Exactly, but as long as it doesn't interfere with there's other amendments to that Constitution that allow us certain ways of life. And when things like, look at Saudi Arabia, predominantly Islamic, and yet they have, women can't vote, women can't drive, women can't do it. It's directly in contradiction with, 14th Amendment, 15th Amendment. Right to vote, right to have equal protection under the law. You cannot have an Islamic rule and Western democracy. It just doesn't work.
It wasn't so long ago that women couldn't vote here.
Right, but we've changed that.
Among other
by a
people
Republican president.
Who weren't allowed to vote here. So what you're saying is that folks in other countries who don't share our exact same constitution should be banned in a way that, for our own constitution, is unconstitutional.
No, and I just said I don't think that's entirely enforceable. But
so why would the candidate that you're a surrogate for propose it if it's not reasonable policy solution?
And I think he's clarified that substantially recently.
Is he trying to rile up a racist base?
No, I don't think he's trying to rile up. I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to say, look, America first, our way of life first. Look, let's be honest.
Where America first comes from, right? So Charles Lindbergh, it was a fascist slogan.
So let's be honest here. You see
you do know that history.
Well, I'm putting America first because that's what I fought for.
You're totally on board with the fascist slogan of America first, which is where Trump got that.
I'm on board with putting my country and my way of life first. But let's turn the table.
Luckily, Carl does not represent most Iraq and Afghanistan veterans.
And, I would imagine that I represent most. You got out of the military as a conscientious objector. Okay,
absolutely.
You joined before there was a war. As soon as you did one deployment, you got out. You can go hang out with Bo Bergdahl for all I care. Mm-hmm. I went back and I fought twice, and I joined because of the war.
And unfortunately, this is exactly the Trump narrative, right? Look, I respect your service and whatnot.
And so do I.
I think what you're not going to see me doing in this discussion here is going after your personal service or your personal life, right?
I'm going after your personal
now,
beliefs.
Trump, on the other hand, Trump's right out of Trump's playbook. As the minute a veteran doesn't fit in with his narrative, doesn't act like the puppets, the mannequins that he wants us to be, he attacks us personally. He tries to discredit us. He tries to accuse us of, being organized by the Hillary Clinton campaign, whatever it is. This is straight out of the playbook, right? You don't like what I'm saying, and rather than answering some of my questions, you're trying to attack me personally.
Are you diminishing his service because he was a conscientious objector?
I'm diminishing the ideology that he has, where the simple fact is, look, thank you for
What
joining.
would you say my ideology is?
So I would say the fact that you got out as a conscientious objector after your first deployment because you didn't agree with the cause. A lot of us others stayed and fight. I joined because of the cause.
You agreed with the cause?
I agreed with the fact that
You agreed with the war in Iraq?
Is there something?
There were
for
things I
him-
would have done differently, but yes, I agreed with the initial.
Is there
war in
something
Iraq.
for him for standing up for his beliefs, even if they're not
Oh,
your
absolutely.
beliefs?
And look, this is a free exchange of ideas. This is America.
Right.
America first.
Right.
Where he has an opinion, I'll sit here and listen to it. I have an opinion, he sits here and listens to mine. And that's what the great part about this nation is.
But clearly you've Googled me and are trying to somehow use that to undermine what I'm saying about the candidate that you're a surrogate for being a reckless bigot.
No, I don't think he's a reckless bigot at all. I mean, this is an easy ideology to push because he
Right.
says he wants to lock out somebody who's.
We're in the military. Donald Trump has said that he thinks an effective counterterrorism strategy. He's offered two notable examples. One would be targeting the families of enemy combatants, which you and I both know is an unlawful order. The second, the story that he keeps likes talking about, is the execution of enemy prisoners of war, Muslim enemy prisoners of war, in a largely invented historical story with bullets dipped in pig's blood. Would you follow those orders if you were still in the military? Every veteran I know who served in Iraq and Afghanistan, working very, very closely with Muslim forces who risked their lives to support our mission, everybody I've talked to thinks that is not just insane, it's offensive, and it puts not just American lives at risk, but it puts at risk our brothers and sisters still in
Let him
uniform
answer
who are
first,
serving
answer
overseas.
first.
Here's the thing. War is not pretty, and sometimes you have to do terrible things to win it. The last war we won, World War II, we decimated cities. Sometimes there were innocent people there, and I'd rather not do it, but the fact of the matter is to win a war, you have to kill bad guys, and sometimes you kill innocent people, and if that's what it takes to protect America, I'll do
So
it.
you're in favor of executing enemy combat.
I'm in favor of doing what it takes.
Okay, so let me ask you this, Perry.